And you know what? That's when it hit me. This isn't just about me. Have you ever stopped and thought, have you ever asked that question? Why does history keep repeating itself? Really. Just think about it. There have always been worse. Always. Since prehistoric times, since the earliest civilizations, always wars. Different times, different faces, different leaders, different nations. But the emotions behind them, always the same. Same pain, same fear, same despair, same hope, same emotions behind different events throughout such a long time of our human history. Our thirst for cruelty. Back then it was gladiator fights and public executions. And now it's online hate, cancel culture. Look how excited people are when they see those sufferings which are not theirs. It's been always the same. Different things, different events, different distractions, different masks and different forms, but the same feelings. Even pandemics repeat themselves. With what? With the same emotions. So it all seems like all of history just keeps spinning around the same set of emotions. Now let's zoom out from history and look at our own lives, but not through the lens of events, but through the lens of feelings. And that is really hard to do. Because we, as humans, tend to see every situation, every person, as something unique. Oh my God, this person is so special. I'll never meet anyone like them again. Even though you've met 5 like them before. Every time a new situation hits, you think, not you, everyone actually, all of us humans, we think, oh my God, I can't handle this. This time is different. It's so different. This situation is so unique. Now I really can't handle this. Even though you've handled so much before. You thought the exact same things about those situations, but you were able to handle them, okay? Every new moment seems so unique. We don't even notice how limited the range of emotions we are experiencing actually is. And that's the trap. No matter how much we try to improve our lives, new stuff, more money, less kilograms, new cities, new homes, new people, but the feelings stay the same. The feelings keep repeating themselves. Because we are just in the same trap as the rest of humanity. Because we are programmed. So in fact, what they call the matrix is just a program, a loop of the same emotions and feelings we are stuck in. So in fact, no magic, pure psychology. However, for me, there is still some magic. But anyways, the main question is, do you want to change something. And I know that you do. And I also know that those videos didn't help. But why? They all say the right things. Raise your vibration, change how you feel. What they say isn't wrong. They say not the wrong things. So why then it didn't help? Because all of them, they leave out the one thing that matters most. You can't just stop feeling those feelings because they are what your ego is built on. And your ego can't exist without that specific set of emotions. But here's the good news. That specific set of emotions also can't exist without your ego. Confused? Confused. I know. So let's break it down. The emotional loop you are stuck in, the one that keeps repeating itself, was installed in you skillfully over time, so long ago, so you don't even remember how it happened. And it didn't happen all at once. Different people, different emotions, their emotions, how they made you feel, culture, society, friends, all of that shaped your personality. The you think you are today, the you show to others. But that personality isn't just a list of facts. It's not just where you were born, what your hobbies are, where you studied. No. You are your habits. Not just habits like smoking, drinking, scrolling your phone, but the emotional habits, behavioral patterns, habits of wanting certain things, habits of being drawn to certain people, habits of feeling certain emotions in certain conditions. And now here I am very excited because finally I can answer to so many questions, those questions, what the ego is. So that unique combination of different emotional habits, that unique combination is your ego. Why do I say your ego but not just you? Because I simply can't call something you if you didn't choose it yourself. You didn't choose the conditions that shaped your personality. You didn't choose your parents, your caregivers, their feelings back then, the way they were treating you back then, your society, your culture. You didn't choose those conditions. You didn't choose how all was built, you know. I want to repeat this one more time. That was not your choice. And honestly, who wants to become someone they never chose to be, right? Now, in order to stay in control of you, your ego doesn't just keep you in negative emotion patterns. It also uses positive ones because it needs balance. Polarity is what makes anything exist in the first place. Love and hate, cold and hot, plus, minus, light, dark. Same with emotions. Your ego has created the whole contrast system inside you to stay in charge. But tell me honestly, haven't you noticed? After every emotional high comes that crash. And here's the real question. Do you want to know what's on the other side of these repeating emotional loops? Then get ready, because you'll have to let go. Not just of the negative feelings your ego feeds you, but the positive ones too. That's what death of ego is. That's what escaping the matrix is. That's what stepping outside the program is. That's what freedom is. So I realized something. In order to escape the system of repeating emotions, the ones that keep making you suffer, you have to let go of the entire emotional set. Not just the negative feelings, but the positive ones too. And now I'll explain why it works only this way. And the answer is very simple. When you chase those positive emotions, that's exactly when you fall right back into the negative ones. And that's why people can't do it. That's why people can't truly change their lives. No matter how many life-changing videos they watch. And then you are faced with that big question: how can I voluntarily give up the good feelings? What will be left for me then? What will be left of me then? That fear, the fear of the unknown, the fear of what's left after you let go, that's what keeps people from doing this work. But the truth is, on the other side of that fear, on the other side of letting go, is not just freedom, it's everything you've ever wanted. And I know that you have so many questions right now. I know that you want to know more, like how do I actually get rid of this emotional set, or what's going to happen on this path, or how do I not get lost in all of it, or how do I still feel happiness even if I give up the positive feelings and emotions and things that I love. But that's not for this video, because the information I've just given you is already deep. It's a lot to take in, and this isn't something you just hear. You need to feel it. You need to let it bloom inside you. You don't just need to understand that there is inner work to be done. You need to have a genuine inner need to do that work. And for that, you need to clearly identify the emotions that keep repeating in your life. To figure that out, I suggest you take a piece of paper and to start analyzing your life. But again, not through the lens of events or people, but through the lens of emotions. You have to understand what your emotional cycle is. What happens first? A strong positive emotion, because maybe you wanted something so much. What comes next? Maybe disappointment, maybe despair, maybe fear of losing it. You have to find the patterns. You have to understand what's the first emotion, what's the second one, what's the third one. You have to understand that whole cycle. You have to find the patterns. Only emotions, no events, no names, nothing. List which emotions are positive and which are negative, and then ask yourself one question. What do I want more? To keep those fleeting positive emotions, or to finally break free of the pain that follows them? This is so important. Without this clarity, without making this decision for yourself, you won't be able to move forward. Letting go of strong positive emotions is not easy. You can only do that when you reach that breaking point, when the suffering from your negative emotions becomes so unbearable, so you are finally ready to sacrifice something. And sacrifice is a required part of this work. I want to repeat and highlight required, okay? Sacrifice is a required part of this work. And it's through that sacrifice that you receive everything you truly desire. So ask yourself, do I want to let go of the suffering, or do I want to keep those rare moments of happiness that eventually cost me everything? You have time between this video and my next video. So use this time to truly understand it, to sit with it, to go deep. Maybe you'll need to watch this video several times to understand it even better. But if you found this video, it's not by accident. Maybe for the first time, you finally got that chance, that opportunity to step out of the program. So use this chance. But please remember, you only can step out of the program by your own free will. So that's why you have to make that inner decision. And when you are ready, you'll see my next video. See you soon.